The most common question I get asked by people is, what is your favorite LARP event and which one should I go to? I'm going to be breaking down every single LARP event I've been to based on category, explaining it, showing what it has to offer, and then at the end of this video, I'm going to reveal which one was my favorite of all of them. I also have videos linked to each LARP I'm talking about, so if you want to check out my experience at the actual event, you can find those in the description box below. Okay, let's get started. The first LARP I'm going to talk about is called Twin Mask. Twin Mask is located here in California, and it is an advanced LARP with a fantasy theme. Absolutely no phones allowed. You gotta leave it in the tent. No one has a phone on them. Now, the really great thing about this one in terms of the environment and the ambiance is it is actually located on a Renaissance fair ground. So you are actually playing within permanent structures that are there that fit the theme, which I personally find that when you have the structures that match the world you're living in, it is so much more immersive. Now, they did change locations recently. I'm not sure where they are now. Now let's talk about the activities. So in terms of quests, because this is an advanced LARP, questing can be a little bit more difficult. For this event specifically, it was a weekend event, and if you want to do questing, it is something you have to do a little bit earlier in the day, and you really have to ask around. People made food and you could buy food with in-game money, which was really cool. You could go to the bar, take fake shots. I did a fashion show, which was so much fun. And then I did speed dating. Those are things that I've never done at any other event. Now, they did have bartering here as well. The main bartering area, though, was one shop specifically. Now, for this event, they do have fighting. I personally love fighting. They do have fighting, though, and it is done a lot differently than other events I've been to. And all that to say, every single event I'm about to talk about, the fighting is done differently. I always thought that each event would have the same fighting style. No, everyone does it different. This event specifically, since it is advanced and you actually have a character that can have abilities or like healing powers, your hit points could be higher from the average person stepping in without healing abilities or without like spells over them. I think the basic hit point was 5, but if you have like healing powers, you could get 5 more points. So your hit points are 10. And while you are fighting, you count your hit points out loud to let the people know if you're dead or not. And if they hit you 5 times and they think you're out, you have to let them know in real time, like, oh, I actually have a spell on my arm and I can't die yet. And this also means that when you do die, you have to go and get healed by someone. And if you can't, you have to play a game with death to either come back as yourself or as another character. As for the role play here, it's intense.
Oh, are you okay?
Sister, what happened? What?
It's okay. You're back.
I went to speed dating. I didn't know enough of my character's backstory, and you had to answer the dating questions as your character, and they were responding as their character. And it got a little bit confusing for me because I just had not remembered enough. The fun thing about this, though, is the fact that you can stay in character the whole time here. People don't just step out of character without doing this signal, and I personally really enjoy that because you don't have to feel weird about being in your character the whole time because literally everybody else is. Because a lot of the events I go to, you can be in character, but there is no out of character moment like this where you signal like this to talk normally to somebody. I like the differentiation between the two. And because this event is advanced, there are NPCs, which I guess I should have maybe put that in the categories, but it's fine. There are NPCs that step into the world out of their original character to enhance the storyline. And when that is happening, there's something brand new going on all over the town when they insert a new group of NPCs. As for parties, I did not experience any parties. I'm sure there are. I did go and hang out with people at their camp, but there were things happening. This is a smaller event though, so keep that in mind. Okay, but what about the people? What about the people? So for the people, everyone was, again, very much in character. Even having kind of like a basic conversation would be in character, and somehow dragons would be included and you would be talking about the world you're living in. There was no out of character conversation happening. It was the first time I had experienced a LARP to that degree. It's something I want to go back and experience again, because since then I've done a LARP where you stayed in character the whole time and it was in someone's home, and that was one of my favorite events. It's not going to be on this list because it's not a public thing, but the not breaking character thing to me is literally the best thing you can do. Now, this is a camping event as well. It's very easy to camp here. And as for the food, you do typically bring in your own food. You can make it on site, and you can also buy food with in-game money. But in terms of like food trucks and stuff, they didn't have anything like that because this is a smaller event, but you can always leave the grounds and come back. Okay, now we're moving on to the next event that's in California, and it is called Neotropolis. Neotropolis is a cyberpunk city that is built up in the middle of the Mojave Desert, and Neotropolis is beginner friendly. The theme is incredible. If you saw my video, I talked very, very highly of this event, and because it's such a niche theme to bring to life. Like, you more commonly will see a fantasy themed event, medieval. Having a futuristic cyberpunk city was I was very curious to see how it would look in person. I was like, how are they gonna do this? But let me tell you, they did it. It checked all the boxes in terms of it feeling how I felt a cyberpunk city would feel in the middle of the desert. Like, even the smell of it, I don't know what it was just spot on. During the daytime, it was magical, and at night, it was magical. I cannot speak more highly of it than I am right now. Like, 10 out of 10. If you like sci-fi, you have to go to this event. Neotropolis, you can have your phone out. In fact, it fits really, really well with the whole theme of the event, but most people don't have their phone out unless they're kind of using it as a gadget on their arm or something. Now let's talk about the activities. So they send out an entire schedule of things that you can do, timed. There's no way you could get to everything. So if you are one that kind of needs things written out for you, this event, it does a really good job at making it clear what is happening. And sometimes things could be by word of mouth or just like popping up, but for the most part, you can figure out what's going on before you even show up and kind of plan what you want to do, which I like. You get like a wristband to kind of join, was it a faction? Yeah, a faction. And you have to go around and solve puzzles and meet people. It puts you in situations to meet strangers, to team up, to complete quests, which is great, especially if you go to events alone. There was also bounty hunting, which they gave you this really cool device and you would go around and fight people. Another great way to interact with others, especially if you're by yourself. There was even an escape room. The things that you could do quest-wise, unlimited. There's just so much to do. I did not get to everything. I went to a bar with my friend Josh, and this happened.
Okay,
That was more like an aim.
You didn't even hit my face. You hit my You just clapped me in the ears, bro.
Oh, no.
Would you do it again?
Yeah, I would.
Round two?
I would
Now?
absolutely do it again. Is it too soon to do it? Too bad?
Not bad,
No, you're good.
There was another time I went to an auction late at night. I kind of snuck into it, if I'm being honest. There was also a whole arcade area where you could play old school games. There was just so much to do. There was money laundering, which I did. I got my bones removed at one point, and I also went to a hookah bar in the Cyberpunk City area on the second level. And it was so freaking epic sitting up there. I felt like I was in a movie. I just could not believe it was real. I was like, there's no way that this is real. Like, you can just go smoke hookah with your friends in a cyberpunk city. I see like these men walking around that had these voice changers and they sounded like aliens. It felt like I was in Star Wars. It was so freaking cool. Now, as for fighting, technically there is fighting because there's laser tag. Need I say more? For the roleplay, you can be yourself and show up into this world and just change your name. It's much easier for beginners to come here and not feel pressured to act or behave a certain way. So it's really up to you how deep you want to go with it, which is why I typically say, like, for beginners, this is a really good option along with Wasteland.
I gotta get this gear off me. I gotta get this gear off me. They trapped me in a lab. They forced me to watch endless content. I just need some peace of mind. No? There's some smugglers that left me for dead, the bastards. I made off with a bunch of their credits, though. I gotta figure out how to use them to get the stuff off me.
Put him out of his misery. For bartering, so much bartering here. They will bring boxes and boxes of relevant items to the theme to trade. And there's an entire strip where people do this. As for the parties here, okay, I love the clubs. There are clubs. There's also parties as well, but I personally love the clubs because, again, it's cyberpunk. Everyone's wearing really sick outfits, lots of neon lights, lots of EDM music. I love EDM music. Such a vibe. There were 2 specific places that I would hop back and forth to hang out. Oh, also there was this bar that was always filled with fog that was super cool. Parties were crazy. I think that clubs is under parties, right? Like that makes sense. Yeah. They also had a main stage as well for big shows and big performances where there were people like doing stunts and then people also performing music or like DJing or singing. And as for the people here, the people were awesome. Everyone's very nice, very welcoming. I made friends with some people just walking around and we went and smoked hookah together. We're still friends. I've seen them at events since. And you do have the option to camp on site at this event, but you can also stay in a hotel only 30 minutes away if you want to do that. I believe it's a Wednesday to Sunday event, if I'm not mistaken. So it's decently long, but go the whole time. As for food, there is an entire food area. So you have options. You should just bring some snacks with you though, not just rely on the food trucks because they do close at a certain time. But yeah, there's food. There's food. Next, we've got Wasteland. Wasteland is a post-apocalyptic kind of Mad Maxy vibe and Fallout themed. Also, this event is beginner friendly. It's truly one of a kind. I think the only other LARP that might be similar to this is located in Australia, which if you want to go to it, sure, but I think this is probably going to be better. This takes place in the same exact area as Neotropolis. And all that to say, Neotropolis and Wasteland, in terms of the ambiance, the environment, everything in both of these events is built from the ground up weeks prior. It's literally just a desert to start, and then they build all of the buildings. You would never know this unless I told you, because I didn't know. I found out later. I thought some of the buildings were there. Maybe they changed them slightly. No, they build everything. And when you realize that and you step into the world, the work that goes into making this happen is insane. You can technically have your phone out, like no one's gonna yell at you, but most people don't, because when you leave the world, you kind of just put it away naturally, and the service is pretty spotty. Wasteland though, I mean, if you've seen my video covering it, it is one of a kind. There's so much creativity that goes into everything that you see here. The people that do this are very creative. They will turn trash into treasure. They will turn trash into a moving vehicle. It's wild. That alone is worth going for. But let's talk about the activities. This is crazy. Like, okay, the activities are endless. From a car ride in the desert, to car shows, to motorcycle rides, to hiking, going to clubs. This is another event where they send out a schedule, and there's something not only put on by the main organizers, but also the majority of this event is really made up by the people that go that also organize events that are at their camps, and they will supply everything. People are very generous, and this is something you will see across all LARPs. People are so generous. It is a very welcoming community. You don't get that in the real world, guys. There's overlapping events every single hour. You can't do everything. You can't. I remember this year, which I haven't posted that video yet, but soon, there was actually a bowling alley. Someone brought a freaking bowling alley. I have no words. You can do a gun running challenge where you have to transport items, and in return, you get a free gun for your first time there. Of course, these are not real. There's also other events where you have to transport explosives to other camps, and then you get like patches and stuff for doing it successfully. There is fighting here, but it's not like a medieval battle by any means. There are no swords. You have guns, and you can do gunfights, but I think it's a rock, paper, scissors, shoot challenge, and then you fall to the ground. I'm pretty sure. I know they do something like that. I just have never attended personally. As for roleplay here, there are roleplay things that happen in this world, but I would say for the majority, people have a different name, and they are ultimately themselves.
Hold on, that's adorable. It's Wasteland's lawn. You just live here sometimes.
Wasteland, maybe back there. I know you're behind those things, but
Hey, Pistol, what the fuck is going on here?
Oh, would you look at this? Rabbit Asylum's captured one of our most elite hunters.
And the bartering here is absolutely insane. They've got crazy things here. Pretty much every tent at this event, every camp barters. You can just show up and go shopping. It is wild. I have so many things from this event. I unfortunately traded a lot of them this year, which is kind of sad. I remember one year someone 3D printed a bunch of animal skulls, like a bunch of different kinds. Wild. As for the parties in Wasteland, don't get me started. There are probably, I would say, if I had to guess, there's probably about 30 parties going on every night, maybe more, actually. That seems like a low number. There are like 10 major bars and like clubs. There's also a main stage too. There's a main stage. You've got karaoke, you've got speakeasies, you've got a casino, you've got a D&D gaming area, you've got an arcade, you've got burlesque shows. They also have a movie theater, and the best thing of all, the Thunderdome. This place has it all. It's literally a town that's post-apocalyptic themed, and everything is more condensed. And the people here, the people are great. Everyone might look a little scary and vicious, but they're not. They're just a bunch of assholes that love each other.
Hey, get the off my lawn. Moving along.
They're all super nice and welcoming, and everyone just wants you to have a good time. And you do have the option to camp on site at this event, but you can also stay in a hotel. Next, we're going to talk about Brandywine. Now, Brandywine is the first official Middle-earth LARP event that is Hobbit themed, based on the books. If you're a fan of Lord of the Rings, this is something you have to attend. The theming, it's located in the Shire. You come as a Hobbit, that is your character, it's selected for you. Yeah, you're just a Hobbit enjoying life in the Shire. The ambiance of this is incredible. In fact, they chose a location that they believe was based off of where the Shire was meant to be, because in the books, he talks about tobacco fields. And in New Zealand, there are no tobacco fields, but in Kentucky there are, and that's where it's located. You could even go hiking here, and we did a hike into the Shire where you were up on the top of the mountain and you could see the camping in the distance, like the whole Shire. It was just like the movies, guys. Brandywine, no phones allowed, no cameras of any kind. They're very, very strict on that. Also, I haven't posted my video on this one yet, but I'm going to, and I'll show some snippets here if you're curious. They did so well with the theming of the tents, everything looking the same. They had an out of theme camping area and then a in theme camping area, and everyone kind of decorated the outside of their tents to look all cute. As for the activities here, there was actually a lot of activities. There was questing, yes. There was a spoons game, just like from the books, and you had to go around and steal spoons. There was hiking every single day. There was even folk dancing lessons. This was personally my favorite part along with the hiking, because this is something they taught us at the very beginning before the event started. And we ended up doing those dances throughout the entire event. So anytime that you went to the stage, you would find those people doing the dances and you could join in, and everything was, it was like choreographed. So I learned so much doing that. I wish I knew more dances, but it was really fun. And those dance classes went on for like 5 hours. Yeah, pretty cool. Pretty cool. I've never experienced that before. They had a full schedule of things that you could do every single day, from hiking to look for giant spiders, to chase off trolls, to steal their camp, to drawing classes. Yeah, they actually had a lot of really, really cool things along with games. As you can guess, there's no fighting. There's no fighting. You're a Hobbit. We're all peaceful. Something that we did one night is we went hiking up the mountain and we stargazed with a bunch of strangers, and that was amazing. Yeah, I actually made a lot of really cool friends there. The roleplay was really good. They actually did a class for everyone on how to roleplay and kind of what it consists of. And you're truly just being yourself and interacting whatever the situation brings you. And you can be yourself with a different character name. You don't have to have an accent. It was kind of free for all.
My name's Finley Moss-Trotter. It's good to see you.
I'm Mimsy. Hi, Mimsy.
I'm Mimsy too.
I know. What a great name. No bias.
Okay, so we're not cousins.
I don't know. Are we?
No, I'm a Took.
What a shame.
What's your name?
Penny Burrow.
Nice to meet you. I would love one. Thank you so much.
Ah, Bingo Tolman. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, perhaps we can share some ink wash later.
Ooh.
That's why I'm so tall. No.
There are also NPCs that come into the town to add to the guest's storyline. As for bartering, there was bartering. There was actually like a bartering night market, which was super cool. I didn't really see bartering happening throughout the day. There were a lot of parties. There was a main area where everyone would hang out every single night. And then there were some, camps that were doing smaller things. But the main area was, I think it was called the Party Tree. And that's kind of where everyone went to hang. They also had some shows as well with live music, which was really fun. The people were great. The people were awesome. I made a lot of friends at this event, and I've hung out with them since, and I had a blast. I had a blast with them. This event really was one for the books for me. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It's gonna be up there. As for the food and camping, the camping accommodations, best camping experience I've ever had, hands down. It was so good. I had like a legit bed and a nightstand and lights and blankets, and it was so cozy. It was so cozy. It was 10 out of 10 for me. This is literally glamping. Like, you have a place for your suitcase down here, a chair that I can also put outside to read on. This is also a foam bed. This is not a blow-up mattress. That is crazy. And they had lots of good food options, like the best food. It was all local. We got 3 more events left. Next, we're going to talk about Conquest of Mythodea. So Conquest of Mythodea is a fantasy-themed LARP located in Germany, and it is the largest LARP in the world with over 12,000 people. I did a video covering this event as well. Guys, go check it out. It's insane. It took me so long to edit this video. Show it some love. It's a really cool event, and you'll definitely want to see it for yourself. The ambiance here is incredible. Everything is built from the ground up, just like the other events I've mentioned, and you can really tell the amount of effort put into making the event come to life. This place is so large that you could just get lost. There's even a corn maze I refused to go into because it was too big. I was like, I can't do this. This is too big. I won't make it out alive. There's just no way. You really got to memorize your way around this place so you don't get lost. It's like an entire town in the middle of the forest in Germany. And at Conquest of Mythodea, there is no phones allowed, no cameras of any kind. It's only people that are authorized to have a camera that work for the event that are allowed to do that. So yeah, you cannot show up with a camera or GoPro. As for the activities here, you can imagine there's some quests, like a ton of quests and a ton of things to do. You can do quests all day. You can even do them at night. You can go to the mushroom forest where everything's glowing in the dark and see the mushroom people. There's ice baths, there's hot tub, there's yoga, there's drum circles that go until 5 a.m. Lots of parties. So many parties, guys. And I heard it every single night. It was crazy. And there's also lots of shows like the ones I just mentioned. There was even fire shows as well. And the people were super kind. And the craziest thing about this event, although it is advanced, it's also beginner friendly. There is no strict storyline to follow for this event. In fact, you kind of just show up and go with the flow. And this event consists of mostly NPCs, and then the rest of the people are guests. So there are an insane amount of people that are in crazy costumes that are really there to make the guests' experience better and bring their personal story to life in that world. It's very bizarre. It's like nothing I've ever experienced before. It's a genius idea. It makes it very easy to show up as a beginner and have a great time. The fighting here, as you can imagine, is nuts. The battles are huge, and the fighting here is different. So for this event, you actually role play fight, meaning you just act it out. You act out if you want to die or if you hit someone hard. You don't really go in for the kill by just hitting someone really, really hard and then they die. No, you kind of think to yourself, okay, if they hit me in the neck, would I be dead or would I still be alive and kicking and still go and have this heroic moment where I get them in the chest, you know? It's kind of like that. You imagine playing with your friends in the backyard with sticks and just acting out this crazy scene. That's what it is. So All that to say, if you are kind of turned off by battles, because some people don't want to do that. If you are, this is the type of battle you would want to participate in, where it's more so a fun experience, not so much of a I'm beating you and I win. It's not real. Do you know what I'm saying? It's kind of confusing. I'm sorry if I'm explaining that wrong. Also, when you conclude that you've been extremely injured, you have to go and find a healer that's on the battlefield or off and roleplay being healed to come back into the game. I dive deeper into this in my video covering this experience, so yeah, just check it out. All that to say though, it's a very large fight, it's pretty cool, the NPCs are epic, and it's not something you would want to miss. Now the roleplay here, unmatched. Seriously unmatched. As I mentioned, the NPCs are decked out in the craziest costumes, and they have their own language. Some of them, yes, I know German, but that's not what I mean. I mean like this.
Spores make them cough. Spores make her rocks go broke. Just this morning, one of you cut one of us.
I did not know that.
You need a better reason to get some spore seeds.
I was so in awe by this experience because I thought to myself, did these people just show up and just decide they're going to be mushroom people and talk like this? Or like, what's going on? And then I found out that they were NPCs, and the NPCs are brought into the story by the creators of the event, and they're kind of given a goal and told what to do and what their character is, and then they act that out. I would want to be an NPC. I think that's a lot of fun when someone tells you what to do and then you do it. It's kind of hard for me to go into a world and just be myself. I want to be told what to do. I think it's more fun. But yeah, the NPCs, the roleplay, seriously epic. So epic. As for bartering, there was bartering here, but it wasn't as prominent as it was at other events I've been to. I would say it's a little more on the less side, but there's so many other things to do besides bartering. I don't think that's the main goal of this event, personally. There's way too many other options. The one thing I will say about the people is that you have to remember you're in Germany and not everyone speaks perfect English. There could be a little bit of a language barrier when it comes to explaining something or when you're questing, which I did run into a few times. But yeah, something to keep in mind. And then on top of that, I didn't make friends at this event like I thought I would. Typically, when I go to events, I make friends. Typically, like I'll somehow connect with one person and then we'll have like a good chat and we'll start roaming around and hopping around. That didn't really happen. Somehow just didn't come across the right people at that event that wanted to continue the adventure with me, which, you know, maybe just wasn't trying hard enough. Yeah, it's the first event where that hasn't happened, actually. As for the camping, there's so many different camping options here, and you can even buy a camping package where everything's set up for you and you can just show up and exist. You know, you don't have to bring anything with you, which I think is amazing, especially if you're a foreigner. That's a really good option. And as for food, a ton of food options. Everything you can think of. They even had slushies. All right, now we're going to talk about Bicolline, which is located in Canada. This is the largest LARP in North America that is based in a permanent structured medieval village. And every building on this property is actually built in the medieval way, with no nails, like they're required to be made that way. And it has a medieval and fantasy theme. Also, this is primarily French speaking, I suppose, but everyone speaks English.
Where do you come from?
Je viens de Los Angeles. Et vous?
Je viens de Terrebonne.
Oui. Because this is a fully functioning medieval village, nothing can compare to this. It is quite literally like you're living in the medieval times. The entire village is located along a river. It's this huge piece of property. You can go into the woods, you can go into town, you can go to the library, you can go to the tavern, you can go to the Roman quarters. It's actually crazy. They even had combat training in the morning at like 9 a.m. and you would hear music playing or like horns to wake you up. It really felt like you were living in a totally different world. The theming here is very strict. It's very strict. On top of that, there is no technology. There's no technology. You can't have a phone out ever. You'll get yelled at. Now I have to give a huge shout out to the Voyage North because they are the reason I found this event. And if it wasn't for them, I would have never experienced it this way. because this was my first real LARP event that I went to, and I ended up going with my friend Kiki. Originally, I was going by myself, but the way that they had it set up was that you could come solo and be with a bunch of other solo travelers and not be alone. They entered you into a guild. They would have guild meetings every morning, a schedule of things that you could do. The way that this was set up was so good. I don't know if I went there without them that it would have been the same. Good morning.
Good morning.
This is the way.
Where did you get this?
I took it from a guild. They're having a meeting. We gotta go in there and listen for like a half hour.
I'm so tired. We already missed that.
The combat training?
Yeah. They're standing in a line in the road.
Did I have to get up? What are we doing? As for the quests and activities at this event, yes, there are quests, but I actually didn't really do a lot of them. Yeah, I was too busy fighting all the time. I know there are quests though, a lot of them, because there's an entire board posted in this town where you can see all the different things you can do. So, questing, 10 out of 10. Oh, I would love one. Thank you so much.
Come and try. I would love to figure out what this quest is right here, but I can't read it. Do we have any French speakers here to help me solve this quest?
For extra activities, I mean, man, guys, there are so many things that you could do. Like after the battles, everyone goes swimming in the river together. You can drink from a golden boot to join like a religion. You can go skirmish people's camps at night and kill everyone if you want to. People might be mad, but you can do it. There are seances. You can join cults. You can go into the forest and join the fays. You can also join the gnomes and go throughout the city just annoying the crap out of people. Oh, you just go with the flow. If you hear about something or you hear people screaming, go see what it is. There's always something going on. As for the fighting here is unmatched. There's literally nothing like the fighting at Bicolline. This is personally my favorite type of fighting style at any LARP that I've attended because it's straight to the point. You hit someone on the top of the head, in the stomach, instant death. If you hit their arm, it's gone. If you hit the other arm, it's gone. If you hit the leg, you go down. On top of that, there's also a respawn point too. So you just die, you go tap back in, you come back in the game. It's just like a video game.
Oh no! Serving! Oh no! Serving! Victory! Yes! Victory! Yes!
In fact, they also have skirmishes throughout the day, like a ton of them, and you fight in many different locations from the town to the middle of the forest to a battlefield. It's crazy. They have games like Transporting the Payload, King of the Hill. Anything that you would do in a video game, you can do there IRL. And if you play video games, you're gonna freaking love this, especially if you have good strategy, like camping. This is my favorite strategy. I like to camp. Yeah, I had a pretty epic experience fighting at this event. I ended up winning a skirmish with my friend. She's a baddie.
You really did it, man. You really did it. Wow.
There's nothing that beats the fighting at Bicolline. If you are a fan of fighting, this is what you're gonna wanna do because you can literally flank. You can run anywhere to get to the other side. And typically when you're in a LARP world, there's like out of bounds, you know, for some games. This one does not have that. Go wherever you want. People will chase you down forever if you run into the forest and there's like a group of them. You go and do whatever you want to get to the other side to win. And that's it.
Yeah, I got hit in the face.
You guys
with
alive?
the card.
You want to come side with me?
Yeah. I'm okay.
So the roleplay here is, I'd say it's pretty immersive, but people can just act like themselves and have a character name. You can come here as a beginner and exist and be totally fine. But you can also come here even if you've done advanced LARP and still enjoy yourself. It just depends how you want to play it. It's up to you. As for the bartering, there was very little bartering from what I saw. There was only really 2 days that people were bartering. Actually, not even bartering. No, they were just selling stuff with in-game coin, by the way. People were bartering with each other at the camp with like little items, but nothing, not like a bartering hole or anything like that. As for the parties, yeah, a ton of parties here. There's a tavern in the town. There's a party there every night. They also have shows every single night. There's always something to do. You can also go to different camps and go to parties. I went to the Roman party. I went to the Viking party. Like, guys, it's so freaking fun. It's so fun. There's also shows like burlesque shows, and it's its own world. And as for the people, I freaking loved the people here. I made so many friends.
These are decorum utensils, actually. About half of it ends up in your lap, but the parts that ends up in your mouth is great. Let me tell you.
I know, you're really screwed. Bin bag. I don't know. I don't know what you're gonna do. Again, I do have to give it to the Voyage North because everyone that was there came by themselves. So they kind of were forced into a guild and forced to make friends. To this day, I still talk to pretty much everyone that I went there with. I wish I could connect with more people like that at LARPs. You were bound to be friends with someone and roam around with someone. Like, I was never alone doing something because people always wanted to join, or I would join them. As for the camping, I camped with the Voyage North, which is like this whole package where you kind of show up and everything's there for you. It's super easy. I know you can camp outside of that, and I kind of want to do it, but I'm coming from California. It's quite a trek for me to do that now. Yeah, but it is possible. As for the food at Bicolline, amazing. We have fruit in here, potatoes, eggs, bacon, clapes. How do you say grapes? Next, we've got Hynafol, which is located in Texas, and this is a newer event, but it is, I'd say, beginner and advanced. It is fantasy, and it is set on Ren Fairgrounds, so it is in a whole town setup that is permanently there, like permanent structures, which is really, really cool. All that being said, there is a castle there, there is a battlefield, there is many, many buildings that you can go inside of, and taverns, and so the ambiance of this LARP is great. As for the activities here, there are so many quests, and this is a beginner-friendly LARP, but I will say that it's also a bit more advanced, especially when it comes to the quests that you can go on. When you are trying to gain a specific skill, you cannot advance 10 steps. You can only advance, 1. It's very similar to Twin Mask in that way, where there's only so far that you can advance each time you come. But that being said, it does make the activities that you do at the event pretty difficult to complete. You're going to be focusing on a quest maybe all weekend trying to complete one level. But it's essential, because imagine if they were easy, then you would be done fast. For instance, I tried to become an assassin there, and it was a whole process. I had to go searching the town looking for specific people, and it was this whole thing, and I did it wrong, and I got a little upset about it. Yeah, it was a big learning curve, and there was just a lot that went into it to make it happen. But after all of it, I did officially become an assassin, and that made it worth it. It's not super easy. It's not super easy. This is definitely higher on the difficulty level, along with Twin Mask. As for extra activities, there was rituals that happened. There was night fighting. That was a super unique thing I had never experienced before that event. There was a feast. There was a feast in a castle. I just can't make this stuff up, guys. I can't believe the cool things I've gotten to experience by LARPing. It's just stuff you would never, ever get the opportunity to do if you did not LARP. Yeah, I had a feast in a castle. As for fighting, though, there is lots of fighting. There's lots of skirmishes, and the fighting at this event is very similar to Bicolline. So the fighting is very straight to the point. You have different skirmishes. You hit people in the chest, on the top of the head, they're dead, and you can respawn back in and keep fighting. It's very quick if you want to join. You don't have to lay down on the ground and get healing like you do at some other events, and I love respawning quickly and coming back into play, because to me the fighting is just so much fun and it's all I want to do. There was even a fight that we did called Storm the Castle, where one group would quite literally storm the castle and you would defend, and then you would switch spots, and that was an intense fight. Something really unique about the fighting here is there's actually fighting that happens at night where monsters enter the town and you have to fight them off. And so you could be walking, and if you don't have a light, monsters will attack you and kill you. But if you kill a monster, they throw this glow ball, and when you collect them, you can actually sell them for in-game money to buy real things. The whole night fighting thing, though, I thought it was so much fun. I've never experienced that before because typically at events they don't do night fighting. This one was done so well. It was very creepy. Characters would come out and talk to you and you would have no idea like who just entered the chat. You're like, who is this crazy person? And people could sign up as NPCs as well here. And you could choose to come into the town and be a monster and fight or be a character. So they did have storylines going with NPCs that were not the guests. The role play here is role playing. People really didn't break character. No, it didn't really happen. And again, not everybody was super hardcore into the role play where they kept on an accent, but for the most part, yeah, they were.
Oh, it was glorious. I always loved to rub shoulders with the denizens, the lower class citizens, just to boost their morale and give them something worth fighting for, you know, as royals do.
And they did not have an out of game symbol like this to step out of character. As for bartering, 10 out of 10. They had a whole bartering market that was crazy. And not to mention, they even had stalls set up at different areas where people were bartering. And because this was a smaller LARP, I think there was around 400 people when I went, I did not expect there to be so many good bartering options. But there were. People came prepared. I got about 50% of my wardrobe there, and it's stuff I wear like day to day. It's crazy. I'm so happy I bartered there. I came back with an entire suitcase full of clothes. As for the parties, yes, parties every night. Parties every night. There was like fun challenges you could do where you would take shots and try to guess what it was. That was fun. There was even a brewery there. Someone made beer and brought it to share with everyone. Like free, guys, crazy. There was a burlesque show. Ooh. As for shows, there were live music performances here. There was also a play that happened. Yeah, there was a play that kind of explained the story of what we were walking into at the beginning, which was really insightful to set the tone. And lastly, the people here were great. I actually ended up seeing people from Bicolline, which I already said I made so many friends at that event, and a lot of them have kind of been hopping around to other events. And as for camping, there is camping in themed tents there. There's also an out-of-game camping area too. And as for the food, we're in Texas. You get to barbecue, okay? Out of all of those, which one takes the cake for me? Okay, I just need to say this in advance, guys, that this is not a video about what event is better than what event, because every event on this list is great. If you were near any of these, I would say go. The quality that goes into all of these is exceptional, and they're all at the same level for me. So that being said, I'm just gonna throw out my top 3. Number 3 is going to be Neotropolis. I absolutely love anything space, anything sci-fi, cyberpunk. It is... To me, it's such a unique theme. I never thought in my lifetime it would be a type of world I would experience. I thought it would only be something I would experience by reading a book or watching a movie, but to actually be in it and see it come to life, yeah, insane. I'm so thankful that I got to attend an event like that, and I'm so sad that I'm gonna be missing it coming up this year. Number 2 on the list is going to be Wasteland. Yeah, another incredible theme that I like post-apocalyptic movies, books as well. I'm a big fan of that theme. So again, being able to experience a world that I have imagined before come to life, pretty crazy. These events are really an opportunity for you to explore worlds that you only thought you could imagine in your head and do it IRL. The fact that you can just go around this event, make friends with everyone, and see everyone's creativity through recycled items is wild, and it gives you a sense of kind of what the end of the world would look like. I feel it's pretty accurate. And in first place, we have Bicolline. Did you know I was going to say Bicolline? Living and breathing in a medieval village for 7 days straight. It's a very long event, right? 7 days straight, no phone. You wake up with the same people in the same camp. You see them every morning. You walk to breakfast together. You eat together. You go to dinner together. You go to lunch together. You follow a schedule together. You go practice sword fighting. You go to skirmishes. You go swim in the river after the battles. There's so much of a community, and everything you do is done together. It's almost like being in school. I just love it. I love it. All that to say though, every single event that I've gone over has something for everyone. Wow, that was really hard to break down. Yeah, so that's it, guys. Hopefully you guys found this informative. And have you been to any of these events? Let me know. Hopefully we'll catch each other at one soon. I'm moving to Thailand in about a month and a half. There is unfortunately no LARP community, no Ren Fair community. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I might have to start my own. A little sad, but we're gonna be exploring some other cool themed events that are happening there that hopefully you will enjoy. But thanks so much for making it to the end. If you did, drop a crown emoji. Actually, no, sorry. Drop a sword emoji. Let's see it, guys. Let's see who the real OGs are. All right, I guess that's it for me. If you have any other questions, feel free to ask below in the comments. Any other video suggestions for me surrounding this sort of content, let me know. Thanks for sticking it out. I appreciate you being here as always, and I'll see you in the next one. Okay, bye.